is because it's the only thing that when I really do, when I'm on stage, when I speak, it's like I'm downloading on high internet speed, it makes me come alive. It makes me come alive, right? And possibly could tell from this video that I'm actually alive, right? That's what speaking does to me. And that coupled with the fact that I'm passionate about, creating possibilities of success for people and businesses, and also problem solving. So that's it. That's when I packaged, you know what, I want to do corporate speaking. Because the reason for corporate speaking is because I realized two things. One is about performance. Every organization talks about high performance teams, talks about, KPIs and stuff like that. But one thing I know that is that I've done a lot of work with people. From the time I was still 19, doing the civil society work, doing NPO work and stuff like that, engaging with people, motivational speaking and stuff like that, I know people understand people. And I know how to connect with people. And I know that before you have an employee, which I think most organizations don't get this one right, before your employee is your employee, there is a human being behind them. The human being first. So you cannot actually, you're not allowed to expect high performance from a person who's distorted, who's not intact, right? So that's something that I realized, no, most organizations, they're too clinical about business. It's like business, I don't want to hear anything else, I just want you to deliver. But they don't know that a person, you need to develop their intrinsic motivation, right? You need to understand the people, when people feel like they cared for, when they feel that they belong, when they feel that, they feel good about themselves. When you're not at your best, you cannot give your best. And for me, I was like, that's where I can actually help. I can help these organizations get their teams at their best, feel good, so that they can be able to do their jobs. I'm not going to be teaching nobody to do how to do their jobs. They already know how to do the job, but they don't have the willingness, the vitality to actually do the job at a level that is required. Why? Because they're human beings with a story, and human beings with sometimes a life that is falling apart. And human beings can only keep it together to a certain extent, right? But if you go into work every day 9 to 5, how long will you actually keep it together? You're gonna burn out, right? So that's something that I really want to help organizations with. So hence I decided that I want to focus on employee engagement. That's what the first thing. I want to help organizations, drive and unlock employee engagement in their teams. So that's the first thing, because I understand people, I know people. I can connect with people. So that's why I actually wrote this book. Even if you see the first thing, it talks about human beings, people here, getting the best out of people, because it's about the strategies that you can use to unlock employee engagement, drive team performance, and build resilience to maintain relevance in a constantly changing world. Organizations already know that employees are the greatest assets. But how many of those assets are actually engaged in their work? Check a lot of memes that are currently trending. How many times your employees are thinking about knocking off, or how many of your employees are actually actively applying to get out of your job, of your organization, or how many of them are actually okay, right? So most, you find that they're actually falling apart, but KPIs are KPIs, right? But I want to help with that. Hence I wrote this book. This book was to introduce me to the corporate sector as a speaker, right? And to also say, this is what I'm going to focus on. If you check the strategies, the 10 strategies that I'm talking about, they're more culture and leadership focused. So I'm introducing the importance of brave leadership and courageous culture in the organization, right? And in the book, I actually unpack what that looks like, because I've realized that I've got to learn, even from my own path, personal path, that brave leadership and courageous culture is the best place to have competitive advantage, right? And the strategies that I've chosen, they're all leadership and culture embedded. Because your team, there is no way you can talk about innovation, being disruptive and high performance and things like that without talking about your employee. Because at the end of the day, it is the employee that has to be innovative, come up with new disrupting business models and stuff like that. For you to adapt quickly, you need the buy-in of your employees. How do you get them to do that, right? So hence, it's more culture and leadership focused, because you have the power as a leader. You have the power to do everything, to make the innovation to happen. right? To help your organization to adapt quickly. It's all in your hands, but it's all about, is your leadership and culture really conducive, enabling, right? Do people feel that they belong in the organization, right? So the strategy is all about making employee engagement your business strategy, enabling innovation, practicing brave leadership, unlocking the dividend of diversity and inclusion, cultivating a courageous culture, being agile, adapting, keeping your ear on the ground for marketing, customer intelligence, becoming a disruptor, and being a thought leader. So these are the 10 strategies that I unpack in the book and how they can help you unlock employee engagement, drive team performance, and also build resilience so that you can maintain relevance in a constantly changing world.